Hello, Braves fans. This is Coach Ken Anderson coming for Hardcore Braves. Episode number 2, our series recap against the Royals. How the heck are you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty good, Ken. I'm pretty happy with the series. How about you?
I am. I think we said going into it, we want to win 2 out of 3. When you're home, you want to win like 67% of your games. 66, they did that. It was 2 out of 3, and they beat a very good ball club in Kansas City Royals. So it was not an easy start. It wasn't the Dodgers like last year or the Padres, but it was a very tough opponent. And as we found out, they have really good pitching, and they have really a lot of speed. Good things come out of that. We slowed their running game down per se for them. Just a lot of good stuff come out of this series. I think Braves fans should be very optimistic. To give you a breakdown, they won the first game in fine fashion. Maybe the best game they've played since 2024. What do you think, man?
Early 2024 when they had their whole team. Yeah, they that was the most complete game that I've seen the Atlanta Braves play in a very long time. It was very refreshing.
Yeah, it was really good. It was fun to watch them play defense like that. And in game two, we'll get really into that. That was one of the most exciting games. The first time that we've walked off a game with a grand slam since 2010. And yours truly has been in ballpark for both of them. So I'm a diehard fan to stay in of both of those games. So that
Very
was
good.
exciting. Yeah. And today we found out really how good Seth Lugo really is. And I know they try to put Reagans as their ace, Waka 2, and Lugo 3, but Lugo is sneaky their best pitcher. Don't you think? He really is a very good pitcher.
I was very, very impressed with him and Waka. I think I was a little bit more impressed with Michael Waka. I didn't realize how good Michael Waka was until I watched him pitch yesterday. Lugo I already knew was good because you could see it with the Mets. He didn't surprise me a whole lot. I will say I think Mother Nature cheated us a little bit today, but I mean, hats off to the Royals. They can really throw the ball well, and then when you get into the back end of their bullpen, besides one person, they're pretty locked down back there as well.
Yeah, they're really good. They got a lot of different looks they give you, so it's really tough. So we'll go ahead and get into it. Game one, Chris Sale, our ace, takes the mound, and he pitched very well. He had great defense behind him, and that's one of the things that we talked about, before we even got on, is that the defense looks so much better. We definitely took a hit last year. Everybody put it on. We lost Wash, but I think it was maybe just we're out of sync because we really looked good on defense Friday night and have this series except for a couple missed plays yesterday. But Sell got us off to a great start. Uh, he went 6 innings. In his last pitch of the night, typical Sell, 98 miles an hour. Pretty impressive, don't you think, Ryan?
There's nothing better than watching Chris Sale pitch. I mean, Schwelly live's pretty good, but Chris Sale just goes out there and he just shoves it down your throat for 6, 7 innings. I mean, he had his fastball command pretty good. His slider was in there. He's starting to mix in the changeup a little bit more too. I think that's really going to help him third time through the lineup. But I won't say he had his best stuff yesterday in game one, but he had his B plus stuff for sure. He looked really good.
One of the things that I noticed in the game, sitting in the stands, he definitely was off on his slot. And if you notice, his fastball was missing way up.
Yeah.
His slider had a little bit too much vertical instead of horizontal movement. So, but that happens, and that's what kind of ace he is to get through a game where you don't have but his B plus stuff, and they couldn't hit him. And of course, we had some great plays. The biggest play of the game probably was Eli White because they could have got in the game.
Yeah.
Made a great catch, and I know that Savant Pages is saying it's one of the best catches that they had seen. But the offense really got us off to a good start, and that's really helps. Ozzie from that right side is so tough. I mean, he got us off 1-0. The stadium's juiced. And I think it's just a big exhale in the team when Ozzie hit the home run because last year we got off such a bad start at 0-7. And Ozzie looks so different these first 3 games. Everybody kind of worried about his spring. And I know, Ryan, you kind of come to his defense, and I think you were accurate. I think Ozzie I think people get too much into the numbers, and Ozzie looks like he's ready for a good year, and hopefully he'll stay healthy this year. That was a really good start to the game, didn't you? A big home run by Ozzie there.
Man, he made me look good, right? He made me look really good. I told you I'm expecting 820 OPS from this cat this year and 25 homers, and he started this year off with a bang. I think his biggest thing, man, is he likes to get out on his front side too much, and he likes to go get the ball and lunge at the ball too much, and that creates too much head movement. You lose your power when you do that. When he stays back like he did on that changeup and that on that swing, it, Ozzie has the best. He has some of the best pop in the game, especially as little as he is. He's a very impressive player, and especially since he's actually taking pitches and he's looking and he's hunting his pitch more often. He's gonna be a very big piece for the Braves. Big piece.
I agree, and we're going to talk a little bit what get going on is the next two-game show. We're going to have to really get better against the changeup and the cutter. Walker and Lugo showed us that, but then offensively, Drake Baldwin. Anybody wants to worry about the sophomore slump. He doesn't look like he's going to have one either. He hits a home run, and and then of course Michael Harris hit a big 2-run homer. So the offense was there. Here's the Eli White catch. It's just beautiful. It really was the play because that ball hits. They're definitely going to score. And then Baldwin comes up right afterward and bang, hits a home run. That thing was a missile,
That's a
too.
laser, man.
I mean, it was just a missile. And, you can just feel the energy. The crowd can feel it. I can just tell you right now, sitting in the stands with them, everybody senses it. This team walks and talks. Everything looks different. So the Michael Harris home run, I'm gonna tell you something. It got out fast too. It was an absolute P. And the good thing about him is I don't know if we even get to show the highlights of it, but he went a couple opposite field this weekend, hitting the ball the other way. And when he's good, he hits the ball the other way. Don't you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the most. That was correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, but that was like the one thing that really surprised everybody when he came up is how well he used the opposite field. I vividly remember, I think it was 23. It was 22 or 23 when he went lefty lefty opposite field off Tanner Scott in Miami. Like that was one of the most impressive swings I've seen out of any baseball player, let alone a rookie or a kid who's just up or like a year under his belt from the left side.
Yeah,
So
that was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball he took the other way out in
one the
Florida.
whack.
Yeah, it was crushed. You
I
know, and, and they scored 6, and they did leave 8 on base, but when you really look into the numbers, it's not as terrible. I think they were 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and that's 28.6. If you can score about 30% of the people runners in scoring position, this was probably a big hit. This is kind of hits we need more of. Mauricio Dubon, he also looked well, and look how we're running the bases. When you watch Austin run the bases on that play, it was beautiful the way he cut the corners. Um, you know, I think that game was probably like we said his most perfect game. But let's face it, this bullpen, I'm telling you what, they are nails. They are nails, and they're a big X factor. Nobody's really taking into account. They are. They have a chance to really, if our starters can get through like they have 5, 6 innings, we're going to win most of these games, don't you think?
Yeah, I was y'all. You're going to see my pick later on in this podcast, but the bullpen was very impressive the entire series. I mean, Sale comes in, shoves it for 6 innings, and then you had Dillon come out of the bullpen. He was absolute nails, and then you had Suarez coming in. He gave up a couple fluky hits, and then here comes 99 down your gut. Go have fun with that. And then Tyler Kinley, once the Braves kind of broke it open a little bit, he looked really good. He looked really good. And I'll be honest, I was kind of down on Kinley a little bit. I'm not a big believer in him, but he looked really good yesterday. He looked really good yesterday.
But I am.
Game
I love Kenley. I love Kenley, and I can see the questions on him. But yeah, it's just it's really fun. And one of the things that me and you have told anybody to listen when Austin Riley plays well, He's the straw that stirs this drink. They win over 70% of the time when he's in one of his really good streaks. And it was funny this weekend, he had two really good games. They won both. And today he didn't have such a good game. They lost it. So not that Austin Riley is everything, but Big Thick is the reason we win a lot of ball games. And he was perfect Friday night. Great catch, 3 for 3, 2 walk. I mean, everything about him was perfect. I mean, he just was outstanding. And the only person who had a bad game Friday, and a bad game is just per se. Defensively, he was great, but offensively, Ronald had a tough game. He had 10 swings and misses, and he was struggling with that elevated fastball, which at the end of the year he struggled with. It's a little concerning, but I'm sure Hires and him are going to work on it, and they got it fixed. And matter of fact, yesterday and today, he stroked the ball. I mean, he didn't. He had a couple ball, outs today. They're all over 100 miles an hour. So he'll be all right. But it was kind of funny. They had such a perfect game, and their best player, arguably their best player, did nothing.
That's how good they are.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. You got anything else you remember from game one?
I mean, just going off of Ronald, I would say that I give the Royals some credit, man. They pitched him really well. They busted him in a lot with the hard stuff, and they pitched him really well with the breaking stuff away. And I mean, nobody's gonna know Ronald much better than Salvi after the WBC. So I mean, I'm not gonna put. I think Ronald's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I do too. And I think just to see him running around in the outfield, he just looks different. I
He
told a
looks great.
couple of guys that called me after the day's game because they know I've been down, and a couple of guys on Twitter. I said the way he runs in the outfield now, he's
He's
like
healthy.
23. He
He's
looks
healthy.
so healthy. So we get 6-0 victory. We feel good about ourselves, and we come out in game two and meet Mr. Michael Waka, who has a devastating changeup. And one of the things with our hitters is we tend to struggle against the changeup. I know in the television version, AJ Pierzynski showed it, but our man Reynaldo, who everybody questioned, his, you know, he looked as strong as ever. He threw 93 to 96. He looked really good stuff. We're going to get into talking about a little bit of the breakdown and some of the decision making, but Weiss decided to let him go out and start the seventh, and Salvador hits a home run. And when he does, if you'll notice on the pitch, it's not really that bad of a pitch. It's a Hall of Famer hitting this pitch. Look at this.
I
It's below his knees. He just drops the bat head on it, and he had just enough to get out. I mean, that could have been a fly ball to left. That's how good Reynaldo threw. Look at this. It's right at the knees. I'm sure he'd like to got a little bit more inside. He left it over the center of the plate, but it was not a bad pitch, and Reynaldo threw great. And I think everybody with the Braves kind of, you know, exhaled a little bit and, felt pretty good about, well, we can maybe feel better about our rotation with him going. So, but yeah, Walker was solid, and he really got it. So the thing is we gave up another run. I thought Piamps threw the ball well. Have you noticed in there in the highlights that it was a broken bat from Witt? And I thought Piamps threw the ball great. How about you? I thought he threw the ball pretty good. To be honest with you.
I his breaking stuff looked pretty good. His command was a little off. I think he had a walk. Um,
Yeah.
Stuff wise, he looked good. He's got to rein in the command a little bit. You can't do much about the blue pit, so I'm not going to really crucify him for that. But I mean, Piamps I think looked pretty good, but I was very impressed with Walt's bullpen usage. I'll let you take
Yeah.
that over.
Yeah. He managed the green great. I mean, he drove. I think he drove Bray's Twitter crazy when he brought in Bummer here in this situation because Bummer has bad luck. But the fact of the matter is, Bummer got exactly what you kind of want. He got a ground ball to Matt, and I would guarantee you that Matt catches that ball 102%. I don't know what happened there, and then he panicked and he still could have got the out at first. Um, just best defensive first baseman makes an error, and we give up another run, and you just kind of got the feeling at that point it just wasn't our night, you know. But Walt, gave us a chance. And a lot of guys can get taken away, but the kid Osvaldo Beto, who we picked up, he come in and caved the side,
Yeah.
and he his arm is the real deal. And he got us to the bottom of the ninth, only down 2-0. We get there we go. We get a walk, and then Matt gets a big single, and you could just sense it. And here's where Walt takes over a lot different than what Brian would
Yes.
have done. We start pinch running like crazy. Mateo gets on there. Yastrzemski guys, nobody's really talking about it. He has been a huge
He's been
pickup for us. He
big.
looks so solid. So he gets on base, and Walt says, well, heck, I'm not done yet either. Let's go ahead and pinch run for him, too, and put Eli in there. And puts all that pressure. And I think that caused Estefes to walk Albies. We can hold up right there. I think no 4 pitches were not competitive. I think he was worried about Eli stealing base. And so he ended up putting him into the winning run in scoring position because he was so scared he didn't finish. He was trying to get the ball out of his hand. I think before we got on here, you're talking about how he was shot putting that ball.
Yeah.
And he walks them, and, and now we've got the bases loaded, and Michael comes up, and he hits an absolute P. He hits the Steffes. Now, we're all wondering if it gets through and Witt fills that, is that a double play in the game? I don't know. Michael is busting it down the line. It's interesting. You go back and you look here. Let's see. He hits it, and
I mean,
Bobby, I think he's probably going to turn that. He's closer to second than we thought he was.
yeah,
He's
he's
probably catching that
touching,
and turning
going
it,
right
and
at
that's
first.
probably ball game. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
That is really.
I will say this. That's a break we don't get the last 2 years, Ken.
I agree.
We don't get that last year.
No, no, no. That's the kind of. It was kind of going the other way around. Remember, hold it up right there. Remember last year we were in a big spot in San Diego, and they hit a ball back at Bummer. He hit his foot and went in the dugout.
Yes.
That was kind of luck we had. So, so now we've got a chance. We've tied the game. The pressure's off, and sometimes when you have a magical season, you need a magical moment. So
From an
Dominic Smith's
unsuspected
going to come to the
source.
plate, and I talked to Dom today and told him how Braves country we really do feel for him because of his mother passing away 2 weeks ago from cancer. And so he comes to the plate, and I just kind of wonder what's going through this guy's mind, and he just absolutely delivers here. I mean,
Look
he's
at
a great
him.
at bat. He's a great at bat. He takes another pitch. Now he's up in the count.
Look at his. He has no stride either. He is looking
No,
just to put the ball in play right here.
and then bang,
Bang.
yeah. Because he knows if he puts the ball in play, the game's over. Because Walt has done a good job, and he's got all that speed on, and it really tore Esteves out. And I just say, I love Brian Snicker, friend. I don't think this is a game that we win with Brian's managing style. I think we won just because of Walt's managing style. I really do.
I agree with you. I was sitting there yesterday when he pinch ran Mateo for Olson. I was like, and this is no shot at Snit, but I'm just like, I don't think Snit does that. And then when Yaz got on, he pinch ran Eli. I was like, Snit's probably not going to do that. You could tell just the way Walt was attacking the game. He's like, I want this game. Even with his bullpen decisions, when Payam's got in a little bit of trouble, boom, I'm going to the lefty and getting Bummer in here, trying to get a double play to get out of this. And and I think that goes a long way too with the players, man. Like they see their manager trying to I'm trying to put pieces for us to get this W tonight, and I think that fires them up too. I think it's just that little subtle leadership that managers have that I think it fires the guys up. They're trying to get the dub too.
Well, I agree. And it's about the only thing that I thought in that game down the stretch that would have definitely been a Brian thing that Walt did was bringing in the kid to pitch the ninth down too to save the bullpen. And that's the reason why you got to give Beto a lot of love there because he strikes out the side. His stuff is nasty.
Great.
Yeah, I mean,
he
he just looked
great.
he looked so good, and so now you feel really good. I mean, you took the series. You're playing with house money against one of the better teams in the American League. And, so we go to the day. Lugo against Holmes. Um, let's just talk about Lugo a little bit. He's tough. That cutter is tough. He broke 6 at bats. We're not talking about at the handle. We're talking about the end of the bat where it's cutting and broke off sleeves of sheds of the bat. And he's just tough. And then when we did square him up, we hit a couple balls, 110 miles an hour, three. Two of them, Harrison Acuna, should have been out of the ballpark.
Way out. I
I
mean,
can judge a
way out.
home. I mean, way. I judge a home run. You could really see it in Harrison's reaction when he could not believe it, and that changed the whole game. Give Kansas City credit. The kid Jensen turned on one of the mistakes that Holmes made, and he hit it up into the seats in the chop house. It's just one of those deals that Lugo. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap, like they always say, and Lugo was just tough. But one thing about it is we're going to have to really get better on hitting people's secondary pitch. The change up from Wonka, cutter from Lugo, and Hires has really got to get them, you know. But, you brought up a good stat today. What was it? 5 strikeouts is all we had?
That's
We're
it.
putting the ball in play.
Putting the
Yeah.
ball in play.
Yeah. So, it was just one of those. As far as Holmes, here we go. We're going to take the hot topic item. So, what I want to say about Holmes is everybody on Twitter thinks Holmes should be a starter, and everybody on Twitter who thinks Holmes should be in the bullpen, you're right. That's what tweener guys do. They can make that great argument. Alex brought up the point Friday with Matt Chernoff on 680. If everybody was healthy, it was Grant Holmes that was going to be the odd man out. The Braves are even telling you, and we got good friends. One's Ben. Ben loves Holmes. This is not a knock against Holmes. It's just saying if all was equal, Holmes could be that Sean Green, Brad Hand, Jason Adam, go in there and get 2 to 3 innings, just shut down a game. You imagine handing the ball to Grant in the 7th inning to say, game's over, guys. Go get, we're out. And save your closer. He's that kind of guy. Or if you need an opener to come in he could fit perfectly. But the fact of the matter is we've had injuries for 2 years, and Grant Holmes is a warrior. And he goes and grabs the ball, and you make a good point. He threw 5 innings today, gave up 3 runs. That's winning baseball. And so everybody who wants to discuss Grant Holmes is right. Stop arguing amongst yourself and realize that we got a very good pitcher. We got a warrior. And if they bring back and Waldrop looks like he's close, and if Swelly can get back and J.R. Ritchie gets up here or Dieter Fuentes can actually be a starter and all those things happen and Bryce has a solid year and Grant can go to the bullpen, don't get your panties in a wad. That's a good thing for us. And if those guys can't quite get back, Grant's going to do a great job in the rotation, keeping the game close and giving us a chance to win. Grant Holmes is our tweener guy. Every team needs one. They want to win a championship. He's our guy, and I love him for that. And today, I thought his command was off a little bit. He was bouncing the slider, his fastball out, and just like Sale, but he don't throw 98 in the tank. So he gave a few runs, no big deal. So that's how I feel about Grant. So Ryan, your floor. What do you think about Mr. Holmes?
I love me some Grant Holmes. That's been well known on Twitter. I will say, almost, if Grant was our number 5, and this is not me defending him, okay? I'm saying if Grant was our number 5, nobody's saying anything about today. The fact of the matter is that Grant right now is our number 3. And this is a tough pill to swallow. But at the same point, we're kind of lucky to have Grant because if we didn't have Grant, we'd be in a really tough spot pitching wise. You probably have J.R. Ritchie up here, which is not a bad thing, but you also kind of want to protect his innings. But I think for the Braves to be as successful as they want to be, we need Waldrop and or Schwelly to come back and fill those rotation spots and push him back in the bullpen. I said it from the beginning of the offseason. I think Grant Holmes, you get the best out of Grant in the bullpen. I mean, just like the way you said it, he can close the last 3 innings. say if Bryce has an absolute blow up and he can only go 3 innings after he gave up 4, 5, 5, 6, 7 runs, and you need a guy to eat up 3 or 4 innings without giving up anything, that's going to be Grant. And that's going to save your bullpen. That's going to give your offense a chance to get back into the game. I just think to maximize Grant Holmes, you put him back in the bullpen when you're able to. Right now, the Braves just can't. So he's going to be a starting pitcher until we get a little bit healthier.
Yeah, and everybody should love Grant for that. Everybody should be Grant Holmes because he can do whatever we need him to do, and he will do that. So I'm excited for what he's going to do for us this year, whether it's in the rotation or in the bullpen. So I guess I'm a tweener also on Grant Holmes. I'm with him. I think he's excellent.
Nothing wrong with that.
One of the things that is really good to see, and we saw it again today. Ozzie had a couple more good at bats. Michael had good swings. The guys are really swinging good. But one of the things I want to point out, okay, is our superstar, our best player, as far as pay wise, Austin Riley. 2 monster games. We go as he does. He really just struggles in day games. He struggles. I don't know what it is. He's not terrible, but he just struggles. And to me, he's a little anxious. He had he today. I believe he in his 4 bats, he might have only seen a handful of pitches. Like he jumps on the first pitch and the first one he raked. He crushed it to center field. But everything else, I could tell that one time the big at bat where he pops up on the infield, we had runners on. I think he should have maybe took a pitch, got in there a little bit off of Schweber, but I don't know. I don't know what causes that, but he just tends to struggle in day games. And I used to think it was because of his eyes. The sun, well, the day was a cloudy day. So I don't know. Have you noticed that about Austin at all? That he seems to not be as good in day games as he is in night games?
I think Austin in general, he gets very anxious in the box. I think you can kind of see it with his hand rhythm a good bit. When he's nice, like first 2 games, like his hand rhythm was nice. It was just nice and fluid, right? Today it was a little bit more like this, and he was a little off rhythm a little bit. He stroked the first one to center field, but he had a couple at bats that he worked some deep counts. But I don't think it's anything day game related. But I will say that there's times where he gets anxious in the batter's box where I think he just needs to step back and just take a deep breath and realize it's just a game at the end of the day. I know we all want him to come through, but it's a game at the end of the day. Just relax and have fun.
Well, let me just take the anxiety might be it because let's face it, in a night game, there's a lot more batting practice involved. There's a lot more ritual you're going through. In the day game, everything gets sped up. And if
Yeah.
I'm an anxious person, a little bit, the anxiety. And then on top of the day for Austin, they trot him and all the other position players out there to meet all of us A-list, not all of the A-list members, but some of the select A-list members and talk to them. That could not. And then Walt had them take infield,
Yeah.
which I really liked today. But his whole routine might have got sped up a little bit. So we'll just kind of monitor that going forward. And Austin's a true superstar, and I 100% think he'll get it figured out. And as we go on.
The only other thing I got on Austin is he definitely struggles with the high fastball. He's got to learn to get on top of that. We need big, thick hitting fastballs up in the zone. He's got to
Yeah,
figure that out.
I agree. I agree. But overall, the Braves played really well.
Yes.
They limited a team to 6 runs. They can really score, and the fact that they can spread the ball around and do different things. But one of the things that we all know is the Braves, and I think it was brought up in the telecast last night by AJ, they tend to rely on the home run too much. So they need to be able to score when they don't hit home runs, like the Bond inning when he hit the double. And even before they hit the walk-off grand slam, just think that's a fly ball to right field. They win the game anyhow but nobody's throwing Mateo out. Mateo's fastest guy in the MLB. They're not throwing him out. So fly ball to right field, they would have scored 3 runs without a home run. So they need to do that. So what is something you think they need to do to help that, to
Run,
score more without hitting a home run?
run, steal
Yeah,
bases, run. I don't care if it's a hit and run. I don't care if it's a stolen base. You got to run. You got too many guys that are athletic. I mean, look, Austin Riley's got like 60 percentile sprint speed. Like, use it. Put on a hit and run, especially after Riley. It's a little questionable, but I mean, you're gonna have Ozzie behind him most games, and Ozzie's a good bat to ball guy. Why not put a little hit and run on once in a while? Why, especially when you got guys like Waka and Lugo who were just absolutely dealing and looked great. You gotta find something to spark the offense. Just my opinion.
Oh, I agree, and I did like the fact that Saturday night Yaz laid down a bunt.
Yes.
And I'm not asking anybody to bunt, but if that was on his own, is what White said. Just on his own, he saw it back. Let me try it. He laid it down on the first pitch, and so I agree. I'd like to see him run. We have the best running coordinator in baseball, and Anton Richardson. And I think we'll get there. I will say these first three games, we had three really veteran pitchers that know how to hold runners. So let's see how we do when the A's roll in here. We got a lefty tomorrow and Lopez. Might be a little tough to run on, but Savali and Severino, we should be able to run them. And so let's see if we run a little bit in this series. I like to see it. I agree with you. Run a little bit and try to create some logjam. But overall, good series. We won 2 out of 3. And I think it went well. So we're going to talk a little bit more, go into depth on it. But I want to tell everybody right now, Ryan, about our giveaway. April 10th. 2 tickets, parking pass, Guardians, Jose Ramirez, top 10 player in the game easily,
Easy.
coming to Atlanta. We're going to give them to you. All you have to do is follow Ryan, follow me, follow Hardcore Braves, any of our media platforms. We like for you to follow them on every platform, but not everybody has every platform. But follow them on there. And in the comment section, you're going to tell us what the play of the series was and what the MVP of the series are. Now, you may have to write down 4 different things here because Ryan and me may differ. You write that down in the comment section and tell us you want to go to the game. You'll be entered in the raffle. And we're going to give it away at the end of this week. Friday, we'll draw it. We'll give everybody a chance to listen to the pod. And we'll draw and give 2 tickets away. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Man, that's a sweet deal, man. Especially, I'm telling you, chat, where he sits at, you're going to want those tickets. That's all I'm going to say. Where he sits at, you're going to want those tickets.
Yep, good tickets, good tickets. And you know what? Every once in a while, you get famous people to walk by. Today, after the game, I looked up, and there come Eric, and I have talked to Eric before, Eric Hosmer, if you don't know who he is. Great player for the Royals, good player for the Padres. I mean, just a really good man and a good-looking man. So I was going to get a picture with him so everybody could see me talking to Haas, but my wife jumped in. So my wife had a picture with him. But he you get to get that interaction. They walk by me all the time. Even Alex walked by us and says, "Hey," so maybe you can ask him, some stuff. Derek Schiller walked by and says, "Hey," so you never know who's going to walk by. So the Guardians are coming. I don't know who's on their television or radio broadcast, but they got to walk by. You can get a picture with them and say them. So they are good seats, and we got the amenities. Chick-fil-A's right around the corner. I mean, you're going to love all of that. Remember, play of the series, me and Ryan's play of the series, and the MVP of the series. Just put it in the comment section. Tell me you want to go to the game. You'll be entered in the raffle, okay? With that said, let's start with the play of the series. I think we're going to be similar here. What was your play of the series, Ryan?
Play of the series was this gentleman right here. You can't get any better than this, Kent. A walk-off grand slam. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at this.
Beautiful.
It's best angle in baseball right there. Best angle in baseball. That's beautiful. Dom Smith walk-off grand slam as my play of the series, Ken. How about you?
Oh, that's 100% my play of the series. Only regret I have about this home run was I was not in the stadium. My granddaughter had a softball tournament. Uh, my rest of my family members went to the game. That is beautiful. I mean, I love the fact that he had decided all I got to do is put the ball in play, no toe tap, nothing,
Nothing.
and just simple, right to the ball,
Yep.
and
Bang.
bang,
Weight transfer, hip fire, great. I mean, good bat path, beautiful swing, beautiful.
just score. And everybody gets a shot. I know they put him on Twitter. I think Austin Riley can dunk a basketball, folks. He jumped up on this. See if they get this in the frame here.
There he is. Look at him.
Austin,
Boom.
look at that. Hey, he's getting up there, little A-Rod getting up there. So yeah, beautiful. Definitely the play of the series. And who knows if we can take 2 out of 3 from the A's? That was the home run that might have won us homestands. That's a beautiful thing, and it was good for Don Smith. Like we said, everybody's already heard he lost his mother a couple weeks ago, and I think it's just very fitting that he did that. So yeah, it's a beautiful moment. So MVP of the series, Ryan, what you got?
Ken, it's not just one player for me. It's the entire bullpen for the Atlanta Braves. I think they gave up what, maybe 2 runs this series, maybe. They slammed the door down, man, and that's as a fan, as I'm sure as a manager, as a pitching coach, when you go to that bullpen after your guys have worked their tails off to get that lead, you want your bullpen guys to come in and just slam the damn door down and lock the win down, and they did it. They did it every game. They did great. They're my MVP.
That's an awesome pick. 2 runs in 10 innings,
That's fantastic.
and and all of them contributed. First night you had Dylan, Robert, and Tyler. And then last night we, of course, had Oswaldo pitch well, Payamps, Bummer. Today, though, it's funny we hadn't seen Iglesias,
You
our
haven't.
our, our closer, so he's coming and he'll be fine. But today, Didier Fuentes, when you're down in a ball game and you can find a guy to do what Didier did today, is excellent. 4 innings, 1 run. The walk that he had did come back to haunt him and give up a run. But I tell you what, last year he looked scared to death. I watched him walk in. I wanted to see him warm up. He looked so focused and calm during his warm ups. I told our usher, I said, watch this. This kid's fixing to just mow this team down. And he got it up to 97 miles an hour today, just easy. It was just beautiful. And I think that it's gone a long way. And I think this kid here is going to pitch a lot of big innings for us. What about you, Ryan?
I was very impressed. And it wasn't even just the 96, 97 that he's throwing. That changeup just there that he threw, he spotted it. And it was good movement, had good tail on it. His off speed's come a long ways. And that was I think one of the bigger things that he needed to do. It was command and he needed secondary pitches. And he looks like he's got both of them right now. So stretch the kid out. I know we're going to have an innings limit, but let's see what he can do in a big league season. I'm balled into Diddy. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, look how calm he's just calm today. I
Yeah.
loved everything about that. And remember this Jensen kid,
Bang.
he took a fastball. That's a 97 one, I think. He threw right by him and just he took a fastball out earlier in the game, and he's going to be a great player for Kansas City. By the way,
He
Carter
is.
Jensen. He's the reason why he's going to stay Salvador. Salvador is going to probably eventually just be a DH. He's going to probably give him a couple more years because this kid can play. So yeah, I loved it. So my MVP is going to be different. So you're going to have to remember these guys. We got Dominic Smith, Grand Slam, Play of the Series. It's going to be easy. Ryan gave you bullpen. I'm going to give you Reynaldo Lopez, MVP of the series. Yep. All of us thought Sale, and then what? Once Schwellenbach and Waldrop and all of them started falling, Strider, all that. And then Reynaldo goes out and he does what he always does in spring training. He half-ass, I can say that word,
You can.
his last start. He's done it every time. We should have known that. We all panicked. I got to say, I didn't panic, but I was concerned.
I was concerned.
Yeah. And he said, "Don't worry about me, boys. This is. I'm still Reynaldo," and he threw great. and needed to. The only way we win the game was without, because he doesn't throw well there. We never even come back in that game. The whole sequence turns out different. So to me, we won this series because of Reynaldo Lopez's start, and that's why he's my MVP. And if he can just duplicate what he did this week, we've now got our 1-2. And then hope to God we got help coming with Strider, Waldrop, Schwellenbach. Like I said,
It's gonna be nice.
it's going to be a good staff if that happens. Because if Reynaldo turns into the Reynaldo before he got hurt, that 1 point, we don't need 1.99, but he turns into 3 ERA guy,
3.5.
3.5. We're on our way. Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. That's what we got. So before we talk about the A's coming to town, do you have anything else you want to talk about with this series?
If anybody thinks that the Atlanta Braves are not a good baseball team after this series, just stop watching baseball and go do something else.
Take a mental break. I mean, you're just hating to be hating. Now, some of y'all like to troll. We understand that, and some of y'all are our friends, so we know you're trolls. But not everybody knows you're a troll like we do. Kind of give it a rest a little bit and just enjoy this team. And look, we are we are a game behind the first place Marlins, the only team that got through the weekend unscathed in the National League East.
Phillies
Everybody else, we're 2-1. Mets 2-1. Nationals 2-1. And as we all like to see, the Phillies are looking up in the division at 1-2. This division is going to be stout. Me and Ryan's already told you. It's not going to take a lot of wins. 100 wins, you don't need it. You can get to 90 to 93 wins, 89 in Ryan's book. Whatever we get to, you can win this division. This division is going to beat up on each other. It's solid, and it's going to be good. So to beat a team that's going to probably go to the playoffs, be right there at it, 2 out of 3 to start, is really strong. To be honest with you, so got to be excited. And one of the things that Eric Hosmer said also, he thought both these teams would be in the playoffs, and I agree with him. He thinks the Braves, take it from major leaguers, he thinks the Braves are really good. And I usually get a pretty good honest assessment when I talk to these guys, when it's not on the record or whatever. And Eric, he really thinks the Braves have the means to make the playoffs. So I agree. I think it's a wonderful series. So with that said, guys, we got the whatever A's coming. We don't call them the California A's, Sacramento A's, Las Vegas A's, West Coast A's, whatever we're going to call them. The A's.
West
Well,
Coast
I like
A's.
the West Coast. The West Coast A's are coming. So we're going to look at previewing their series. So we know Bryce Elder, Big Texas, is going tomorrow night.
Big Texas, baby.
Yeah, that's copyrighted by Jeb Mays. Y'all know Jeb, and he gets all the royalties off of that if we ever make any. And Big Texas goes, and they're going to throw Lopez, left-hander, and so that means the lineup will get shifted a little bit. So let's see what Walt does tomorrow night. Are we going to go back with the same Eli White and Jonah Heim? I think so too. Yeah. And so then game 2, Aaron Savali goes. He can be tough and he can be hit. So he's one of those pitchers. Let's get on him early. And then Luis Severino, who is their best pitcher, will go Wednesday. Now for us on Tuesday, Jose Suarez is going to take the ball. And I know everybody wants to crack on him, but he has pitched good for us in spot. So, yeah. And it's funny, he's going to pitch against Savali. It's almost like the same pitcher, one from the right side, one from the left side.
100%.
Y'all think the game's going to be 13-11. It'll probably be 2-1.
I'm about to say it's either going to be 13-12 or it's going to be a 1-0 nail biter. It's going to be either or, no in between. So, one last thing. I was talking to the new beat writer, one of the new beat writers, and what do you do in that Wednesday game? You go ahead and bring Selwyn back. Does the rotation look good enough that we don't have to release it? They have not thrown a lot of pitches, is the point. And I agree, too. They have not thrown a lot of, they could just come on back with Selwyn Wednesday afternoon. And
So it's going to be interesting what the Braves do. They have not announced their rotation for the series, so I'm sure they're going to try to make sure how everybody feels.
I got a
But
question.
yeah,
Would J.R. Ritchie be lined up for that game?
yes.
Yeah.
Who knows how it's going to be interesting where the Braves go. We do know what the A's are going to do. They have announced theirs coming out of Toronto. Here's the thing, Braves fans: they coming out a hurt puppy. 0-3. I played the best team in the American League. The A's are a very good baseball
They
team.
are.
Don't let that record fool you. And it's going to take everything we can to beat them. Because when a team gets down like that, they're dangerous because they know they can't get too much further down. The MLB did not do last year. It was us they screwed. This year it was the A's they screwed. They decided to send them across country, which is that's brutal. You should never send a team across country like this. They sent us last year, A's this year, and they sent them to Toronto and us. We got to take advantage of that. 2 out of 3.
Talk about a rough start for schedule. My God. Whew, feeling
They,
for those guys, but you know
yeah,
what? We went through it last year. Have fun. Good,
yeah, yeah,
good luck.
yeah. It's
Not gonna
going to
be a
be an
good
interesting
17.
series. Luckily, we didn't have to go through customs. Unless some of the boys went over to Tijuana, I'm not sure. I don't know. I hadn't heard. Other than that, they didn't have to go through customs. So last year. So, what is your prediction for this series? What do you think we're going to do?
Man. Um, I'm gonna be really optimistic, Ken.
Uh-oh. Don't say it.
I'm saying we're sweeping.
Oh my.
If the offense didn't look as good as they did, I would have probably said 2 out of 3. I mean, the offense looks really good, and I'm not hating on Severino. He's not gonna be as good as he was in the WBC. So, and then you got Sale possibly that day, and even if you don't, then they're bringing up J.R. Ritchie from AAA, who nobody has seen in the major leagues. I like it. I like the Braves sweeping.
I will say on Wednesday, he could get Beto in the start, maybe against his former ball club. That'd be
Could
kind of interesting. That'd be good.
opener.
Um, so if it goes a little south this series, it's at Braves Homer 2-7 that you need to do all your comments to. For me, I'm going to say 2 out of 3 just because it's made. I just can't see the A's starting the year 0-6. I hope you're right.
Listen,
And
it happened to us. We went 0-7, Cam. We went 0-7. It's been known to happen, and I hope it
yeah,
happens to the A's. No offense, A's fans, but
I do too. I do too. I'll do my stretch. I'm going to call it. My boy's not going 6 games without hitting a home run. Matty's going to hit his first home run this series, and I think Austin will hit his first home run this series. So the interesting part is that the Braves have started this year, and they have 5 home runs in 3 games, which is really good, guys, really good. And Ronnie has not hit a home run.
Olsen.
Riley hasn't hit on. Olton hasn't hit a home run. There are 3 big home run hitters. Everybody thinks going to hit 40 home runs, have not hit one. Mr. Drake Baldwin leads us in home runs with. So, but I'm going to say they'll both hit their first home run, and I'm also going to say, yeah, I'm going to say it. Big Texas is shoving tomorrow.
Oh man, I hope so. Look, hate me if you want to. I'm a Bryce Elder believer. I know there is a section of this fan base, which is 95% of this fan base, that absolutely can't stand Bryce Elder. I hope Bryce shoves this year. I hope he does. He deserves it.
I do too. All right. Well, we give you a preview of the A's. We hopefully see the same thing we see in the ball team about the Royals, that we took 2 out of 3 from a very good team. We want to kind of finish the podcast with our final thought. It doesn't have to be even about the series or anything coming up, anything that's on our mind about the Braves. I'll go ahead and start this one. That's kicking it over to Ryan. My final thought is I'm super happy that Brian Snicker is going into the Braves Hall of Fame. And I think there's never been more deserving Brave to ever go into the Braves Hall of Fame, just because of his time he's putting with the organization. This is your
Yes.
number 50. And he's even doing a lot of legwork. He's on radio stations for the Braves right now, which is going to take a lot off of Walt and AA. He can do some interviews, let them do their work. I think it's really good that we have him, and there's no better family that loves baseball more than the Snickers. And I think it's going to be a great night tonight. Him and Ronnie are with. I told him I was going to give him a shout out. The 400 Club, which I'm a part of, they're having their gamboree tonight. Miss Erin on deck. We all love her. She is at it, going to put out some videos and tell you all about the 400 Club. But they're honoring Ronnie and Brian Snicker tonight. Got to put Ronnie first because we know who's in charge in that household.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But my final thought is I hope Braves country, when they kind of do a ceremony for him this year, they show up and really give him the standing ovation he deserves. He did win us a world championship, won many division titles, but just the years he put in this organization when he could have went somewhere else, I think is worthy of that. So that's my final thought. How about you, Ryan?
I'm just going to go ahead and say this. For everybody, you know who you are, who said that I was absolutely insane for defending the Walt Weiss hire. What do you got to say now? 3 games in, what do you got to say? That's all I got.
Yeah, he has a little bit more choice words for y'all, but he will leave it clean on this podcast, and I'm with him. He was a Walt Weiss guy from a long before when we were discussing names. So we hope you liked tonight's show, and we hope you follow us. Remember, you can find us anywhere at Hardcore Braves, at Hardcore Braves, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere, and we're just going to keep bringing stuff. I've already talked to some people about other things we're doing. Remember the contest, get those free tickets, get those answers in, and just know we love you and we appreciate y'all. The number that we're getting and the fast pace that we're growing already, only been in it for like over a week, is amazing, and we are very thankful because of that. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah, very much. And we'll see you down the road. I think Ryan's going to finally get us a hitting thing on Mauricio Dubon once he can get stuff moved in. All right.
You are correct. Sorry. Had a
Uh,
very sudden change in life, so life never stops lifing. So it's been
that's
an
right.
adjustment.
That's right. Well, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And as always, go Braves. Peace.
Peace.